The Mark Twain House and Museum in Hartford was the home of America's most beloved author. It was during that period when Mark Twain wrote his greatest works. And coming up in October 19th at Wolseley Hall, 3 award-winning authors are coming together for Mark My Words, an evening with Baldacci, Grisham, and Picot. Here to fill us in on the event is Jeffrey Nichols, the Executive Director of the Mark Twain House and Museum. Welcome. It's great to have you.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're so looking forward to this event. We started talking about this in the spring when we had David Baldacci on.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about it for about a year and a half when actually David reached out to us, David Baldacci.
He was very instrumental in putting this together.
A wonderful friend of the museum, and had been to the museum about 5 or 6 years ago for a small talk. And he said he had an idea to put together a group of authors to come to visit the museum and do it as a fundraiser for us. And he's really done an amazing job.
Yeah, it's what, just a month away now, basically?
Just a month away. It's hard to believe, actually. And it's really just a unique experience to have these 3 wonderful authors coming together with Malak Compton Rock as the moderator to really have a great discussion about their work as writers and how they got to the heights that they've reached, but also to talk about Mark Twain and his influence on their work and their lives. And how they see his relevance continuing today. So it's really going to be a great discussion.
Why do you think it is that Mark Twain is so relevant even today?
Oh, because you could pick up a Mark Twain work, and if his original intent was humor, it's still funny. If he wrote something like Huckleberry Finn, which was a reaction to what happened in post-Civil War America, as African Americans were quickly losing the basic civil rights they gained after the war, the failure of Reconstruction, as it were. It's still relevant. We can still talk about those things. And he was writing during the Spanish-American War when the United States liberated originally Cuba and the Philippines, and then put down an insurrection essentially in the Philippines in a very hard way. And many people use that as a parallel for what was going on in the country over the last decade. And so he's still very much alive and a living author, and still a published author, actually.
When these books were written back then, caused quite a controversy.
He did, and for various reasons. Huckleberry Finn at first was, it's been one of the most challenged books in American history, continues to this day, and from the very beginning it was challenged.
You know, you hear sometimes when people want to try to get rid of it, remove them from the shelves at schools.
It happens all the time, and one thing that we do, and one thing that this wonderful event will help support, is the work that we do with teachers and students to educate them about Huckleberry Finn and put it in the proper historical context where it can be taught and where it can be used in the American classroom.
Is Huckleberry Finn really the most controversial of all the books Mark Twain wrote?
Certainly the most controversial that he wrote, and certainly the most popular today. Not during his lifetime. His first book, a travel book called The Innocents Abroad, was his best-selling book, but certainly over time that has really been the focus.
That was his best-selling book?
It was. This wonderful travel book.
I don't think I've ever read that one.
It's actually a collection of articles that he wrote, and then came and put them together into a book. And in fact, that's why he came to Hartford. His publisher, the American Publishing Company, which was producing that book, was there, and he wanted to be close to them, and so he located his home in Hartford for the next 17 years.
We're the lucky ones then.
We are the lucky ones, absolutely.
So when people come to the Mark Twain House, I know it's been renovated over the years. It's really just a beautiful gem. It
is. It's a national treasure. And just the past weekend, Labor Day weekend, we had visitors from 18 foreign countries, from the Ukraine, from Uruguay, from all over the globe, because people still love Twain. And when you come to our museum, we have this wonderful museum center that has a great orientation exhibit about Mark Twain's life. We have an orientation film that the filmmaker Ken Burns produced, which is wonderful as well. And of course we have the iconic home. And our intent is to have people walk into this magnificent mansion where Sam and his family lived in the 1880s during his most successful time.
And really get a feel of what
it was like, and get a sense of the man and the place. And I think that's part of what people like David sense, is that when you come to Hartford and you see this house, and you walk through it, you see the area where Mark Twain wrote Huckleberry Finn, or at least some of it, and many other novels, and it really gives you that iconic feeling that people love.
Again, the big event is on October 19th. What should we expect when we go there for this wonderful discussion?
It's going to be a great discussion of the 3 magnificent authors, David Baldacci, Jodi Picoult, and of course John Grisham, and it's something that you're not going to be able to see anywhere else. And it's really the power of Mark Twain, being able to a century after his passing, be able to have enough interest in him and people really interested in his work and times, and these magnificent authors come in and talk about it. And Millie Compton Rock is going to be the moderator, and she's going to lead the discussion about their work.
She's very well known as well.
She is a philanthropist on her own, and very much interested in literacy, and has written her own book. So she's worked with David before, and so it's something that we're looking forward to, and I think people will have a wonderful time being able to interact a little bit with the people that they've been reading for decades now.
We should mention that Malak is married to the comedian.
Yeah, someone named Chris Rock.
Yeah, right. Very
yes,
well-known guy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, well, this is going to be great. So when I spoke with David the last time, he wasn't sure quite yet what they were really going to talk about that evening. Have they been able to narrow it down?
They're beginning to narrow it down. They're still in discussion about exactly how it will play out, but it's definitely going to be a focus on the three authors and their work, but also their reflections on Mark Twain and his work and his meaning to today. So I think people are going to have a great experience to hear from their favorite authors, and some like John Grisham who really don't go around too much to speak. So we're thrilled that he's volunteered his time to do this for us.
You're so right. John Grisham, he generally shies away from any kind of interview or publicity or anything like this.
It's a testament again to David and all of them for coming to Connecticut to entertain all of us, but also to support the Mark Twain House and Museum.
Oh, we're so excited. It's going to be just a fabulous event for everybody, for all of us who love to read, and just have these three fabulous people on stage.
Absolutely, and they've sold a combined over 400 million copies in their lifetime, and Mark Twain also has been a pretty good seller over the years. In fact, his autobiography last year also topped the charts in sales. So, not only will there be these four wonderful speakers, we'll have Mark Twain to talk about too. So we'll
definitely feel his presence there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, let's take a look. Here's the information you're going to need to know. Mark my words, an evening with Baldacci, Grisham, and Picot, Wednesday, October 19th, 8 p.m. at Wolseley Hall in New Haven. Again, the website is TwainMarkMyWords.com, and the phone number is also there, the 888-736-2663. It's a toll-free number, and as a special bonus, we are giving away autographed copies of these authors' books. So here's how you get that. You go to ConnecticutStyle.tv and enter to win. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there.
Thank you for coming, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a wonderful evening in New Haven.
Jeffrey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, don't go away. There's more Connecticut Style right after this.